Would you rather be at war with the world and at peace with yourself, or would you rather be at peace with the world and at war with yourself? So this is a quote that I heard the other day, and it wasn't the first time I've heard this quote. I've actually heard this probably countless of times, actually, in maybe the last 5 years. I think it got pretty popular. Maybe people saying that on social media or YouTube or whatever it may be. Even my cousin proposed me with that question once. But my natural instinct, and you can tell me in the comment section before we get into this, actually put in the comment section, what would you rather have? Would you rather be at war with the world and at peace with yourself, or would you rather be at peace with the world and at war with yourself? And put that in the comment section, and then we'll get into the video. But my natural inclination is to be like, yeah, I'd rather be at peace with myself and at war with the world. I'd love to have inner peace. I mean, I think everybody would love to have inner peace, to be honest with you, because I think that's the most important place to have peace, or build some type of balance that makes you a little bit more peaceful. And I think that we can always improve on how peaceful that we are internally. But at the same time, I also don't think that you're ever going to get to a place in life. I don't think we're meant to ever get to a place in life where we're completely at peace with ourselves, or I don't think we're ever going to be at peace internally, because there's always some type of battle to fight inside. There's always some room for growth. And I think that just like with our physical body, or in the mental world, it works the same way, that there needs to be some type of resistance and there needs to be some type of pain in order to grow. And we're in a lifelong growth journey. So at least we should be in a lifelong growth journey. So I don't think that it's ever going to be realistic to be completely at peace with yourself. I also use a fitness analogy when it comes down to being at peace with ourselves. It's almost like having physical fitness goals. I want to get to 10% body fat. I want to build X amount of muscle. I want to be able to do a 225-pound bench press. I want to be able to do a 315-pound squat, 20 pull-ups in a row, whatever it may be, right? We can get to that goal and we can be like, cool, we made it. But what do you do from there? One of the universal laws is the law of vibration. Everything in the universe moves. And that is the same thing for us, and internally and externally. And when it comes down to physical fitness goals, we're either getting better or we're getting worse. So once you accomplish all those goals of getting a 225-pound bench press and so on and so forth, if we just say, hey, cool, I made it here, I stopped, now I'm good, then you're then just going to backslide. And this is just the rule of law when it comes down to training. For instance, today I went into the gym and I was doing weighted dips. I haven't done weighted dips in a minute. My previous PR on weighted dips was 220 pounds. Today I went into the gym and I felt like I had a really good session, to be honest with you, because I haven't been prioritizing weighted dips. But today I hit 205 pounds added weight to my waist on the weighted dips for one rep, and shit, I was happy with that. I'm like, damn, I haven't even been working on these and I'm still hitting 205 on the weighted dip. So that's great. I've went back a little bit, but not as far back as I thought I was. But the same thing goes with internally. We can have traumas. We're always going to have insecurities. That's just part of life. I think we're always going to have some type of insecurity. We're always going to have some type of trauma that we're dealing with. We always have some shadow work to deal with, some things that we might suppress, or some things that we don't necessarily want to think about. Trauma happens at all ages. Of course, when people think about trauma, they think about maybe a relationship that went wrong, or maybe they think about childhood trauma or whatever it may be. But trauma can happen at any point in your life. Something traumatic can happen to you in the next 10 minutes. But the main thing is how do we deal with it from there? So, and it might be a lifelong process. Some people have issues that they've been dealing with since they were a child, but they've gotten to a point where they can find some type of balance with that issue and it doesn't necessarily control their life. And you can say that's being at peace with something, but if that issue ever comes up, or there's issues that come up internally, we're never really fully at peace. And when it comes down to, now let's flip it to the other side of the coin. And when it comes down to being at peace with the world, that's an impossible task. I think we can be at peace with the world to a certain extent for accepting the world for what it is, and accepting people for who they are, accepting environments to be for what they are. But the thing about it is the external world is always going to have an effect on you as well. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like you. There's always going to be somebody who's jealous of you. There's always going to be somebody who doesn't like your skin color, your religion, what ethnicity you are, what country you come from, whatever it may be. There's always somebody who's going to have a problem with you. There's always going to be some type of drama going on in the world, politics, international politics, religion, whatever it may be, celebrity shit, whatever. There's always going to be something going on. There's going to be chaos around you, but we try to make as much peace in that chaos and try to find as much balance in that chaos as possible. But that's also an internal job as well. So you're not necessarily going to be at peace with the world. And one of the ways, and this is going to be probably the last part of this video because I don't want this to go on too long, but one thing that we all do, at least I hope we all do, is we all work and we all earn a living, right? So there's always going to be, unless you work on a computer completely by yourself and have your own business where you don't have to deal with anybody in the outside world, which is almost impossible, you're going to have to deal with the world, and the world's not always going to be coming at you in a peaceful manner, and you're not always going to be able to deal with the world in a peaceful manner as well. And especially if you're in corporate America, and especially if you're a black man in corporate America. For me personally, I feel like anytime I've been in like one of these corporate jobs where I have to answer to a manager or director or whatever it may be, it seems like they're always trying to find something wrong with what you're doing. You can't just come to work and you can't just go to work and do your job and not have to worry about somebody nitpicking at every little thing that you do and trying to find a hole in your game or poke holes in your process or whatever it may be. They're always going to be doing that. So at the end of the day, you're always going to be kind of at war with your job, even though you guys should all be working together to produce the best product or produce the best service or whatever it may be. But that's just kind of the way that corporate America works, if depending on who you are. And like I said, if you're a black man in corporate America, personally, I think if you're a black man in corporate America, it should be a means to an end and you should be trying to figure out a way to get out. But also, even if you're running your own business, you still have to deal with the people who are patronizing your business. You still have to deal with maybe somebody who's manufacturing something for you. You still have to deal with all these external people, and that's the world. And you have to try to make peace with these people. And sometimes it's not always going to be a peaceful way to get what you want. So there's different tactics that you need to take. So personally, I think that the whole kind of phrase, would you rather be at war with the world and at peace with yourself, at peace with yourself, or peace with the world and at war with yourself thing, it's not really something that's even realistic. And you might be at peace for a moment in time, in one way or other, at peace with the world for a moment in time, at peace with yourself for a moment in time. But there's always going to be something that comes up and knocks you off balance. That's also an opportunity for growth. That's also an opportunity to kind of take those couple steps backwards and take those 10 steps forward, as I say. And that's another thing, is that there's a rhythm to life too. And that's another universal law, is a law of rhythm. But that's another video for another day. I got to get back to work. Actually, I got a client to train in about 30 minutes. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.